But at one point, I was so done. I didn't want to do anything exam related anymore. So in my last effort to pull myself together and to pass the semester, I realized something. To be there at the core of a mental breakdown and to manage to pull through last minute. So I recently had my finals and I filmed the whole thing. And while watching those videos back, something struck me. So I had to edit 2 weeks worth of study content, and to make it more comprehensive, I added timestamps at the end. And guess what? It was no surprise that for 2 weeks straight, the whole timeline was just this. Wake up, study session, lunch, study session, dinner, study session, sleep, wake up, study session, repeat. And of course with a few variations like study session at a cafe, or study session at the library, or study session at home. But the main idea was basically the same every single day. Now, as a normal and sane person, would you see this as an interesting schedule? Probably not. Could a timeline like this at some point throughout a whole month maybe make you depressive? Probably yes. I mean, I would say yes. And still, we have to do this every semester. And it's so easy to become overwhelmed from everything that's coming at you from different directions. And you know that things just have their way of getting overcrowded when we are the busiest. Could we have gotten those assignments, group projects, and personal problems somewhat earlier in the semester when we
didn't have so many things on our to-do list
already? Of course not. Of course not. So what I found is that in order to save ourselves from desperation, we need to start romanticizing our student lives, even in their most boring state. Even if it feels like this horror short time turbo routine just has to end as soon as possible, we still have to find a way to go to it because we have to go through it every single semester, so we might as well do something about it before it ends us permanently. And what even does that mean? How can we romanticize the most dull, lifeless, and monotonous seasons of our lives? Well, the answer, I think, is much easier than the problem itself. We just have to ask ourselves, what value do I see in all this? Because you probably know why you're studying in the first place, but can you identify one thing that's enjoyable about this whole experience? Think about it for a second. My answer to that was always a straight no. But at one point, I was so done. I didn't want to do anything exam related anymore. And I still had 3 exams ahead of me. So in my last efforts to pull myself together and to pass the semester, I realized something. I realized how cool it is to be so challenged that you end up doing so much more than you thought you were capable of. Like, how nice is that? To be there at the core of a mental breakdown and to manage to pull through last minute just by the power of your own mind. And just when you thought you can't even read a single line anymore, to somehow gather all that energy that's left in you, and with it the energy from tomorrow and the days after that, and to put it all into those final intense study sessions. Some people call that superpowers. I call it the average but ambitious student. How amazing is it to have the opportunity to study for a subject, test your limits, try your best, and then see how you did because someone was there to correct you, to show you how it's done, and even if you did make mistakes, to learn from them and get better and better every single time. Because the next time you'll do a major mistake outside of your college life, it could probably get you fired, but not now. Now, that's what you're here for. And you know that mistakes are what's gonna help you grow and not getting everything right from the start. And romanticizing your life does not only help you avoid mental breakdowns, but also improves your overall quality of life, because sometimes in the rush of life, we don't even realize what an amazing life we're living. Not until someone that's in a wonderful mood tells you a nice story about their lives and they start radiating that positive energy that's almost contagious. So be that person for your friends, for your family, for the people that you love. Think about how blessed you are to be breathing, to be able to see the beautiful sky and the beautiful leaves that are slowly changing colors and turning the streets into this gorgeous fall painting. Think about how lucky you are to be able to afford education, to go to university, and to afford to spend 3 to 5 years on your studies without having to worry too much about what you're gonna eat or how you're gonna support your family and your loved ones. So in the last few years, the idea of romanticizing our lives has become more and more popular. Now, I think it's always been here, but people never really labeled it like this until now. And I don't mean lighting up candles, paying a lot of money for a co-working space, or buying fresh flowers every week to make your desk look nicer. Even though that might help some of us at some point, but these are all external factors. These are all props, environments, or objects that should or would, in a way or another, influence our productivity and our motivation to study. But the true improvement really comes from within. It really has to come from inside us for it to be able to work. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here, and I really hope to see you in my next video.